everyone, and welcome back to Just Albany Reads, and I'm Albany. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get into the Netflix book tag. So recently watched the last book you finished. The last book I finished is The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Go watch that review because I did go see the movie that just came out recently, and I'm talking about both of them. Number 2, top picks. A book or books recommended to you based on books you previously read. Well, it's like a lot of books. I just chose like something that I keep seeing a lot, and it's particularly by this author. But I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I feel like I keep being called to read Recursion by Blake Crouch. So yeah, I feel like that's something that is like a top recommended for me to read. Okay, recently added, so the last book you brought, which I have it physically, but I left it in my room. But I only have, like, at this exact moment, I only have a Saga book 2 because I'm still waiting for the other ones to come in. But Saga, that's a graphic novel I'm going to read this month, but that's the most recent book that I have bought. For popular on Netflix, so books that everyone knows about. So 2 that you want to read and 2 you have no interest in. So I didn't really name books, I named authors. So the first author where I want to read primarily almost all of her books is Victoria Schwab. Is that how you say it? Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. I haven't read any so far yet, and a lot of the titles and a lot of the synopses are really interesting. Like I think the Savage Song, it sounds really good. Vicious sounds really good. What is the other one that has like a different shade of magic? Sounds really good. So I really want to read all 3 of those books, and I feel like it might be another one, not the ghost one, but I want to read primarily a lot of her books, and they are extremely popular on BookTube. Everybody is reading them, it seems like, and everybody raves about them. Pretty much everybody. Author and their books that I'm not interested in reading is Cassandra Clare. Now, I technically read the first book of the Mortal Instruments series back in, like, I want to say had to have been like 6th or 7th grade, and I like read it all. Like, I felt like I read it pretty quickly and I was engaged in reading it, but like I just didn't enjoy it that much, and I never picked up the series. Like, I read other things after that, I just picked up the series too, and I wanted to keep going, but with that book I just never did. And I don't know, I just have no interest in finishing that series, starting all the other series. I don't know, I'm just not really interested in those books. Like, I hear people talk about them, most of the time they don't even say like fantastic things. Like, there's certain series one likes more than the other or something like that. I don't know, it's like mixed reviews about her, but then even their reviews still don't make me really want to get her books. But they're extremely popular and people do rave about them, but I just have no interest. So the next one is comedies, so a funny book. I think so. I put down The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish, and I read this, yeah, I can't consider it my January. It was like last year, like close to the end of the year, and that book I was laughing. It was funny, but she's a comedian, so I feel like for this, I haven't personally read any books, like fiction books, that just made me like laugh out and it was funny. I haven't read any. So I suggest reading like books from comedy writers, comedy people who wrote books. Those are genuinely funny. So that's my recommendation. But if someone has like a other type of book, a fiction book, a fantasy book, or whatever book that had funny elements to it, please let me know, because I do want to read them. I just haven't found one yet. So yeah. Drama. A character who is a drama queen or king or whatever. I don't feel like I've, like, at the top of my head, and when I was going through my Goodreads, I just wasn't really seeing any. But I ended up choosing Nefertiti by Michelle Moran. I mean, the way that Michelle Moran wrote Nefertiti, even though she wasn't the main character, I think the sister was kind of telling the story. But Nefertiti was basically a drama queen. She was a queen, and she was very extra. But anyway, watch it again. So a book or book series you want to reread. So I chose, which I really literally just read this probably like a couple of months ago, and there's other things that I would reread, but this one, I just love it. Like, I can't find another audiobook that has grasped my attention as well as this book. And if you've seen my videos, then you should know what this is. But The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by, what is her name, Taylor Jenkins Reid. This audiobook, I want to re-listen to it again. Like, I really felt like I was listening to a movie, but I knew it wasn't a movie. But it just, the voice actresses in that just did amazing. But overall, just the story period was amazing. So I would want to reread, but really re-listen to this book again. Animated, a book with cartoons on the cover. Can I just say Saga again? I'm gonna say Saga again. Documentaries, a nonfiction book you recommend to everyone. I mean, the book I always recommend, because I haven't really read that many nonfiction books that has grasped my attention. And really the most like nonfiction stuff that I read is like memoirs and autobiographies. But this one is called A Piece of Cake by Cupcake Brown. This is about Cupcake Brown's story, her life. It is written as a novel. It's amazing. I can't believe that this woman dealt with this type of stuff, but great. I always recommend it. Action and adventure, an action-packed book. I can't, for the life of me, can't think of something that I recently read that has been like super action-packed, because I think I haven't read any, and I feel like I need to, in the coming year or soon, read something that really is action-packed and really like great fantasy or really great sci-fi or something like that that is super action-packed. And so this might be on the top of my list very soon for my TBR, like reading in like, let's say April, May or something like that, because I need some type of action and adventure. So I'm just gonna do what I want to read, which is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I think that's how you say it. People say this has a lot of gore, bloody action, but it's amazing writing. It's really good. So, and that is action packed. So I want to read that. New releases, a book that just came out or will be coming out soon that you can't wait to read. This technically came out December 9th, which is pretty recent. I mean, we're only in March, and I just haven't bought the book yet or have gotten around to getting it, but I'm super excited to read it because I read the first book, and this is the second book, which is Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. I'm gonna say that's her name. Sorry if I butcher that. I guess I could have said that was kind of action packed, but I read that like super long ago, so we're just gonna stick to what I said. But I'm very interested in continuing the series and seeing. Haven't heard many like reviews yet so far, but yeah, maybe a lot of people haven't got to it yet either, because there's so many books coming out. But thank you so much for watching. That's my Netflix book tag. Give me some suggestions down below based on some of these like questions and some of these book recommendations, what I should be reading. Like, let me know. I need some good books to grasp my attention, especially audiobooks. If anybody, please, like, I don't mind listening to audiobooks, but their voices, the story has to be good. All right, to be lit.